Greetings, my name is Barbara Berry, and this course is on architectural photography. This course is brought to you by Creative Online School. I have enjoyed photography for many years, starting learning from my father back in the film days in his studio. I learned a lot by shooting film, but it really became exciting to me once I switched to digital photography. Digital photography has opened so many doors. Editing is like an art, which can be confusing when you start out, but this course will provide some simple solutions. My first digital camera had a whopping 6 megapixels. It was a Canon D60 and I purchased it in 2002. It was Canon's third digital camera ever produced, and the maximum ISO was 1000, and it only had 3 autofocus points. Believe it or not, the quality was actually quite good, but obviously that technology has grown a great deal since then, and it continues to improve exponentially today. In this course, you will discover how to take your architectural photography to the next level by creating clean, compositionally correct images, and how to take an ordinary image into an extraordinary, professionally finished image, also known as the wow factor. You will learn camera settings and what equipment you need, and some optional equipment that you may want to consider. You will learn about high-quality gear as well as inexpensive options that are much more budget-friendly. From that foundation, you will learn how to photograph buildings not only during the day, but the best times of day for light and color. You will also gain an understanding of the obstacles that you're going to face during the day and solutions for them. You will learn what you need to know about photographing buildings at night as well, when you don't have available light, and you'll need to use longer exposures. These techniques will allow you to achieve amazing results that often daytime images cannot. You will also learn about HDR photography. HDR stands for High Dynamic Range, and this technique can definitely provide that wow factor. You'll be taken through how you need to set your camera for those, and also how to process the images in post-production afterwards. In this course, you're also going to learn how to optimize Lightroom and Photoshop using creative and effective methods that will streamline your workflow. Editing can be overwhelming to some, but you will learn a step-by-step process that you will be able to repeat to achieve professional results time after time. And last but not least, you will be inspired by additional tips and tricks that the pros use for visually appealing results. These tips are a great checklist to take your work to the next level. By the end of this course, there is no doubt that you will be able to produce the same remarkable images you've seen from the pros and how it's done. So let's talk about what is architectural photography exactly. Architectural photography is a broad subject encompassing everything from modern architecture, like you see here, that can also include the interior of buildings, historical buildings, skyscrapers and city buildings, bridges. It can include real estate photography, which also includes some interior and possibly drone photography to capture the size of the property. It also includes barns and even shacks. Although there is a broad range of subjects for architectural photography, the principles and techniques that you're going to learn in this course will apply to all of them. Arguably one of the most challenging types of photography, it brings on a plethora of problems and issues you will no doubtedly face. Buildings are inevitably taller than the camera angle, so distortion is almost guaranteed. So you'll need to keep perspective control, and this course will demonstrate a few ways that can be done. You also need to gain an understanding of converging lines, when to correct them, and also how to leverage them. You will also gain an understanding of depth of field, since the landscape surrounding a building is important to communicate the static harmony and the feel of its environment. All the while you need to be aware of those issues, you also need to focus on the horizon lines and compelling composition. You need a foreground, a middle ground, a background. In other words, you have a lot to think about. You're solving a multitude of challenges, and at the same time, you're trying to create an image dynamic enough to move the soul of your viewer. The cultural significance of architectural photography dates back to 1835, with the first permanent photograph ever taken, named View from the Window at Le Gras by Nicéphore Niepce. It is a skill worthy of learning not only for the creative opportunity, but it will definitely yield better images from your travels and your memories. So let's get started.